Hey, welcome to WoodPortGuitars. In this video, I'm going to start a case for this 3-string cigar box guitar. And I know I won't finish it in this video because of the finish I'm going to do on the case, which is going to be the same finish that's on this neck, which is a 2-step process, if you remember seeing that. The vinegar stain and then a paint wipe on, wipe off. I really like the way it turned out. I had my doubts, but if you've seen it in person, it is beautiful. It's awesome looking. You can't see the colors in here now. So we're gonna make a case for this. When I first started thinking about building the case, it wasn't the wood box part or how I was gonna do the wood construction part of it. It was more of the internal dimensions that the box needs to be according to what padding and foam and material cloth, whatever I'm going to have in there. So I really had to think about what I was using and how it's going to work out, the sizes, all that good stuff. So I didn't do any real plans. I know I should learn SketchUp. So I didn't really have a very good technical drawing. Here it is. This is what I'm kind of building from. And maybe I'll get into that a little more. But basically, we're going to have a wood box. I want some kind of padding under the guitar, or at least some kind of material, something soft under it. I want something around it that's padded. I don't want it to move. Pretty much basic, your case. So where I started, and I started on this before, but the wood was just a little too warped, so I threw it outside. So just a frame. This is just a frame. All right. Can you see in the box? You can't really see in the box. All right, you see how there's a gap here and a gap there. I'm going to use something called Kaizen foam. This stuff will break away in layers really nice and easy. So you can cut out a shape in it and then peel out the layers, and a tool will fit in it perfect. A lot of people use them for tool drawers, keeping all the tools in order. But it's soft enough that I like it for some padding. Now this stuff's a little bit on the expensive side. I still have a sheet of it that's 2 foot by 4 foot. That's what it comes in. I will leave a link to it below because this stuff is great for a lot of other things. I made concealment shelves where it looks like a fancy floating shelf. We use this stuff on the inside, so if you want to put a firearm in there, you can carve out for your firearm and it'll stay in there. When it drops down, nothing moves. If it's the remote controls or money bag, whatever, you can carve into this, and it's pretty easy to rip out by layers. And when you see it in person, you can actually see all the different layers. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to use this to go behind the guitar and on either side of the guitar. Now this box is a little too tight. That's another reason it was a reject. So this, make sure you can see it. So these 3 pieces, all right, so you can see Kaizen foam here, here, and here. And this will also be covered in material, but this is what's going to keep the box away from these walls, padded. That's good for the 3 sides, but I don't want the box to slide forward. So I'm going to take a couple of small pieces here, and they're going to go on the front of the box, the front of the cigar box. Okay, so let me get you a close-up of that. So now you can see there's going to be foam on the front side too, so the cigar box cannot slide back and forth. And that's how I'm going to do that. Now this will also have material on it. Up here, there will be a solid piece that goes across. A solid piece that goes across, and I'll have this cut out for the neck, and that will be padded. This will all be carpeted inside here, but the bottom of the box isn't going to have any real padding because nothing's going to touch the bottom of the box. All right, let me get these out of here. So that's how I come up with my dimensions, and the material I'm using is this right here. It is actually an old car seat cover. It's in really good shape. It's really soft and it's black, so of course it's going to go in here. And brilliant. What's the chances, right? So this material, let me see if I can find a good spot, because it's kind of a pain here. All right. This material has, man, something does not look right on that guy. We got an issue somewhere. All right. There is nothing wrong with your device. Do not attempt to adjust the screen. We are in control of the horizontal and the vertical. We can deluge you with 1,000 guitars or expand a single note to crystal clarity and beyond. We can shape your vision to anything our imagination can conceive. For the next 15 minutes, we will control everything you see and hear. I cut the wood for the frame on the miter saw, and your measurements will probably be different than mine, because mine is made for a specific cigar box and specific padding and material that I'm going to use. So you'll have different measurements. But I will tell you that the outside measurement of this one is 11 1/4, and the measurement of my long boards are 33. And that leaves me just enough room inside. The first case, I actually left the frame whole and glued the plywood onto both sides. So now I will have to trim the plywood and put the box up on its side and cut it open on the table saw. The second box, which is the one you're going to see, I actually cut the frame first. I built the frame, it's glued together, and then I put it on this jig that I usually use for making tapered legs or straightening one edge of a board, and sliced this 1.25 inches down from one side, which is going to be the lid. And I used the jig and cut all 4 sides. I don't have any footage of it. I decided not to film it. It probably looked pretty dangerous, but it was actually went very well. And yeah, it's pretty easy, pretty neat. I enjoyed doing that. So after I got the frame cut open, I glued the plywood onto each side of it, the lid and the bottom, and pretty much let them dry. And I came back and I trimmed the edges of the plywood back to the frame with a Japanese pool saw that I used like a flush cut saw, and then some planing to get it nice, and then lots of sanding. I have this sanded up to 120, and when I do the vinegar stain, it's going to raise the grain a lot. So I know I'm going to want to do a 220 after that. And so I only went to 120 now. Vinegar stain, raise the grain, do a 220, and then we'll do the paint stain. So now let's get to the fun part. I do have the hardware on here. I had to make sure everything was going to work. In the lid, we're going to use these guys, and they're going to be cut and glued. And this is what is going to push down on the top of the guitar, or push down on the top of the guitar and keep it in place so it doesn't move this way. You can see I have the material in here. This is not exactly how it's going to be, but very, very close. All right, let me get those guys out of the way. So if you look back here, I don't know, I'll get you a close up. You can see I've got my 3 pieces of foam in here just for spacers for now, and then my material, and I'm not going to line the whole box like this. I'm going to do it a little different. So you can see I'll have this padded material all through this whole thing. It will be on this edge. And yeah, I am liking it. So the lid won't shut right now because I have my foam pieces in here. So let me tear this out so you can get a better idea. That's a nice fit. I mean, that's a perfect fit. I am pleased with that. Hang on, baby. Now, what you got in that camera? I think you can see it. All right, let me put that out of the way. Now, when I pull this back, all right, you can see I had my 3 pieces of foam back here just as spacers. And then you can see down in the bottom, I have that padding I was talking about earlier. Now, I will cut these pieces out of a full sheet. And there we have it. Just the material, the padding, and it's really just like a big cigar box. There you go, start of a case. Now you could leave it like this, shellac it, clear, true oil, do whatever you wanted to do. But my wife suggested that the finish on the guitar case should be the same as the finish on the neck. And I said, well, you know, that's that 2-step process we did with the vinegar stain and then the black. It's gonna be fun. Let me show you the other case. Now this is the other case. You can see the plywood is glued on to both sides. The frame is still solid. So I'll have to take something and cut this back. I'm thinking about a router with a flush cut bit. I don't know if it's gonna really chew this plywood up or not. I'm gonna find out. It's the only way I'm really gonna know, is to do it and find out. Now this thing just reminds me of a big cigar box. Now I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly. The one thing I have been looking for and cannot find is black ball corners for guitar cases. The ones that I bought and I had in the video, last video when I was talking about it, those are actually for speaker cabinets and amps. They don't have the full three sides. So I am looking for those. I found a couple, and of course I'm just looking on Amazon. I haven't done an extensive search because I can get it from Amazon quick. This is Monday, and I'm hoping you're gonna see this on Wednesday. So that means editing tomorrow, because it's 7:30 at night. So I'm going to be editing tonight and tomorrow. All right, the hardware is off of it. Let's see if we can't find that vinegar stain. And I don't know how that's going to go, because it's way over there. I'm actually going to have to unhook my mic and go over there and find it. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out and watching this video about this case. Be sure and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you know when I release the next video and the inside of this will be finished. And thank you, subscribers. Thank you. We're up around 686, I do believe, right now, and I'm amazed that there's that many people that would subscribe and want to see what's coming up. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really mean it. I really do. I do. Now, I probably gonna stop the main camera, go find my vinegar solution, and start spreading it all over this thing. And hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. Please subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel, and I learn a lot from you guys commenting. I really do appreciate it. Till next time, have fun.